Welcome to Pat's Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is our episode for April 10th, 2022.
It's blocked by Howe. Short-handed opportunity. Tanner Howe's got a breakaway. Here he comes on goal. Scores! Braxton Whitehead down low for Howe. Right side centered in front. He scores! Connor Bedard has passed Jeff Friesen. Goal number 46 as he stands alone with the all-time Pats 16-year-old goal record. Grab that puck. A race for the puck. Philman's got a breakaway. Great save, Kelton Pine, as he robbed him short-handed.
Well, the Regina Pats have played 65 games, 26 wins, 39 losses, good for 57 points, and 10th in the East Division, moving up one place this week. Currently just 2 points out of the last playoff spot with 3 games remaining. They went 2-1 this week, and they're on a 2-game win streak. That's something we haven't been able to say in a while. And another kind of refreshing stat from that is the 2 points out of that last playoff spot. The window's still open. I have to admit, after, even this Brandon game, I don't think I was alone in thinking the window was closed and we were a done deal. But the other teams haven't really taken care of business like they've needed to seal us out, and we're still in this thing.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, Lethbridge did clinch. They are on a 4-game winning streak, but yeah, the other teams here are everybody's still just hanging around.
Yeah,
Swift Current's got 1 game left. That's kind of tough for them. Calgary's 1 point behind them. Calgary lost today.
Yeah,
they've got 2 left. Pat's got 3 left. PA's got 2 left, and they're 2 points back as well. But PA and Swift Current, they have a game head-to-head there. That's the only head-to-head game out of the 4 teams. Mm-hmm. That's obviously a big one. Obviously for Swift, Huge. It's their only game left. So, but yeah, the door is still cracked.
Yeah,
a tiny little bit.
And
3 games coming up. It's going to be tough, but
who knows, man? I'm not going to close it anymore. I'm going to wait till mathematically impossible to put that nail in, because I don't know. I feel like I was wrong, and I'm eating crow a little bit here, which feels nice. I mean, it's good. It's a couple good games here, some wins. Calgary not really putting it away, beating Prince Albert, of course. They're right in the race with us. So I think Swift Current's holding that position right now, the last playoff spot. But yeah, just that 1 game left. It'll be unlikely for them to make it, but who knows, right? Who knows what's going to happen? We'll see.
Yeah, and I was talking to a friend. He's like, what happens if there's 3 teams tied? Because obviously if there's 2 teams tied, they'll just, play an extra game, but 3, I don't know.
Oof. That'd be
interesting.
Tell you. Because we've seen, I guess at that point it was a game, 79 or whatever they used to play.
73, I think.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
72 they played? Yeah.
Yeah. Just recently. No, not recently. A couple of years ago. Out in the West.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So I think the first tiebreaker, I mean, if there's 3 teams, I was thinking maybe if there's 3 teams tied, they'll do the tiebreaker, the internal tiebreaker or whatever, however they figure that out. I think it's the regulations and overtime wins.
Okay.
So that's that column. You go points and then your win percentage and then your ROW.
Yeah.
So I think that's maybe the first tiebreaker. And you see the Pats ahead of Prince Albert because of that.
Yeah.
Because they're tied. Or maybe it's head-to-head. I'm not sure. Maybe that's first. But maybe it's a 9-10 playoff, and then the winner plays the 8th seed for the spot kind of thing. But I have no idea how a 3-team tiebreaker works out. I'd have to maybe look into that. But
could be interesting.
Either way, there could be 2 teams, 2, 3. I don't think 4 could happen, but actually, you never know. 4 could happen. PA beats Swift Current. They're at 59.
Yeah.
And then
Swift to be
they
at
lose
59.
their other game. Pats pick up 2 points out of the last 3 games, and Calgary picks up 1 point in their last 2.
They could.
It definitely could happen. But
that'd be really interesting.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about this week a little bit more in depth here. So, a loss against Brandon. Again, this was the game after we lost this. I thought, yeah, this is going to be it for us. But, a close game against a team that kind of been up and down this year against us. We've won some, we've lost some, got blown out a few times. Nyhoff with the hat trick. First of his career. That's something. Hey, waiting almost till the very, very end to get it. But good for him for getting that. Just an unfortunate loss. Just like we said, even just the points are so important. And, to go on the road, it's always kind of, our road hasn't been that successful lately. So I don't know what I was expecting, but disappointing at the time, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, you look back at it, they lost a 1-goal road game.
Yeah.
I mean, they played all right. I think
Wasn't
maybe
unreasonable.
I think it was just some untimely penalties in that one. And out of the 3 games, this is the only game they gave up power play goals against. So
yeah,
the penalty kill's been better as of late.
Well, they went 2 for 6 this week. So it has been feeling better, right? Like that's reasonable. It's also like, look at the amount of penalties they're taking too. 6 out of 3 games. Like
no, 11 total.
Oh, I did the math wrong. Okay.
Yeah. No, it was 4 in Brandon, and then they were 3 for 3 Swift Current and 4 for 4 against PA.
Okay.
So,
but
yeah, I mean, yeah, 4, 3, and 4. That's not terrible in games.
Okay. But the percentage is getting better and it's feeling better. And I think that's a huge part of some of the success, especially these close games. Like you're looking, so 5-4, you do lose that game. And that's when you gave up a few. You go to Swift Current, you win, effectively a 1-goal game. PA,
yeah, and same with PA.
Yeah, right?
Both empty netters. So
exactly. So you're not giving up those
that extra goal.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like if you took a snapshot of the last, I'd say 3 weeks, maybe month of the penalty kill, it's probably decent. Like
yeah.
It's not a big enough time or a sample size to bring up the overall percentage, but I think it's been much better as of late.
100%. I agree. So yeah, the tough loss in Brandon. Another road game against Swift Current. Swift Current playing hard, right? They've got a few games left. They're going for that playoff spot as well. So this was not an easy game, and Pine just comes in and steals it for it. Like, wow, what can you say about this kid coming in and giving us these fighting chances lately?
Yeah, and like we asked, after the PA game, we asked the coach, we asked the players, like, what do you say about this kid? Like, you just get knocked out of playoffs, so you're down. You just lost out. That's tough, right? But then, just get thrown in the fire here with the Pats. Like they're super critical games, right? Like they're fighting for a playoff spot, and he comes in, and that first period, like in Swift Current, was unbelievable. He made some huge saves.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about him. He's just, and talking to him, he's a goaltender too. Right? He's just, but he's all business, and he's just like, just saying it's whatever. It is what it is. Bad goal goes in, move on to the next, and he seems like he's in the zone, right?
Yeah,
he's
definitely
dialed in,
right.
And maybe it's because they had some intensity at his own level before, right? Playing for something, and they lost.
Yeah, playing at a high level, right?
Yeah, like for high stakes for the league he was in, right? So, it's just awesome to see. And then Bedard getting his landmark goals there. It was a good game. Nice to be on the road, get a win against a team that's fighting for it too. And anything else about Swift Current you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, other than that, maybe what we missed on was Brandon. You're going into Brandon without Evans and Svozil. Like that's you played a man short, and then in Swift Current you call up a couple of young guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so to get a win there, Brandon, they had DeWitt play, right? So I think they still played a man short, and then Swift Current they brought in Herman.
Yeah.
As well.
So
at least you had enough a full complement of skaters. But yeah, and even I don't think I left that part in, but Schneider talked about that. Like, you got two guys that haven't played all year with the team,
mm-hmm.
but they rode the other four guys heavy, especially in that PA, winding down that PA game.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you can't disregard, you can't not blame the young guys, but yeah, they're fresh, and you're gonna ride your other guys, and those guys have to step up, right, and take the bull by the horns here, and lock it down for the team.
And really getting to see, it's a little bit harder to see on the TV feed, but getting to see it live in person, like last night against Prince Albert, some of the goals could maybe be some of those newer guys making some errors that you can kind of see from a higher level when you're watching the game and kind of seeing the plays unfold. So, I mean, not knocking them, but it's just kind of some of the junior, they were just exposed a little bit maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you can't even tell who's who on the feed, right, on the TV feed. It's like, oh, who was that? Like, what, sometimes it's tough to tell, but yeah, when it's in person, you can tell, and you can see the play develop, like you said, and see where they're at. And yeah, the one goal I think was against Swift Current there, or versus PA, sorry. It was one of the young guys, I can't remember which one, but yeah, I think maybe he made a bad decision, and there wasn't enough back checking on the forwards part as well, and they gave up that one goal. But I mean, like, how many of these goals that Pine gave up, there was 5 goals in the 2 games. Like, how many like snuck through him? Like, at least I can think 3. Like, he got pieces of. Like, it was like, man, it's not like those other, like those games where like Sim was giving up goals, but it was just like he had no chance on those goals. It was like the defense, and it's almost like the defense is playing better, and the coach alluded to it, like the Pine has given the team some confidence.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah,
so obviously he's making a difference not only on the ice, but it's like off the ice as well, kind of thing, right? Like the team feels better playing in front of him. So that's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is. And then from the frying pan to the fire on Saturday night here against Prince Albert, and a game that I think we really wanted after seeing how the last one went against Prince Albert in Prince Albert, right? Just a thumping, and real kind of felt like a real low point of this season this far was that game, right? Because it was like we've been stressing the playoff push, and just to get waxed by a team like that we're kind of on
even with,
should have been on par with. Yeah. So coming into this game, we know Prince Albert played a little bit rougher, and this game was rough. It was a weird rough though. Like, it was a bit of a brawl in a sense. Like, they were just playing odd hockey, like 1995 hockey, just like clutching, grabbing, stick work, like stuff not getting called. And
they kind of went both ways, because there wasn't, it wasn't penalties all over the place. Like, they didn't call much at all.
No.
And like, obviously there's way more penalties in that game in PA as compared to the one here, right?
Yeah.
Like, you only gave up 4 power plays. Like, there was a bunch of, not that they weren't calling stuff, but there was a lot of even up, take both guys, right? Like, but yeah, there was some stuff that probably could have been called, some of those football tackles and stuff. But
yeah, and that kind of stuff would have been frustrating as a player, not getting the call, right? Like when Bedard gets tackled, like arm around tackled in the corner, and that doesn't go. Like, credit to the guys for not
just losing it,
taking the retaliation, because that's always typically what feels like what gets caught, right? Is those retaliation penalties on some of that stuff and getting frustrated.
And I think that's exactly what happened in PA.
Yeah, absolutely. And they didn't this time. And I mean, that's you could say that's the difference in this game, right? Pine playing well again. Like I did say, it's a funny game though when you look at the shot totals, right? Like I was looking, it was what, even for both teams is really low, but Regina in particular, it was like
18
halfway through the third period or second period, and they had like 8 shots.
Yeah, 6-7 shots. Yeah,
I think their second goal was on their 8th shot.
Total
like,
shot.
It was bizarre. Yeah. It was weird, especially for the Pats in junior hockey. You know, they usually higher shot totals, but the Pats usually put up a good amount. But whatever, doesn't matter. After you get 5 goals on 18 shots, that's all right.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, what are your kind of general thoughts about that game?
Yeah, like I think that discipline was much better than in PA, and and it sounded like the coaches stressed that in the second intermission. They're like, you just can't retaliate, like you said, and the power, and like we said, the penalty kill was good, right? And power play stepped up. Mm-hmm. They had 2, right, as well. So the one was, I was like, this power play has been terrible. I said to you guys, and then it was the Vallis, the great play by Whitehead. Like I want to point that one out. That was a great play. Like he stopped behind the net and found Vallis on the side there, and they chipped it in with, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds left to go the power play. I'm like, oh, all right, well, I did the real reverse jinx, right?
Yeah, it was a bad power play. I'll give you credit on that. And it was just kind of a broken play that ended up with having it in the back of the net. But that was a really good play. If anyone wants, you're thinking about it, so Whitehead takes it behind the net. Goaltender kind of started to bite on then him doing a wraparound, so he put on the brakes, and rather than him trying to just put it back in, found Vallis there, and Vallis just snuck it in, and kind of that goaltender kind of going both ways, and then I think he thought Whitehead was going to come with it, but then he just centered it, and really excellent goal, really good.
Yeah, then I don't know, the Bedard goals, both of them, like just rockets.
What was it which one was it where the PA was just floundering? And
I think it was the
frozen.
First one.
Was it his first?
Howe.
Yeah, because then it was the power play that the first goal, the team's just like, they had 4 skaters and the goaltender standing there just like, I don't know what they were trying to do. It was funny. They just froze them. Like they're all flat-footed and they're just standing there like, and he was not far out. Like he was at the hash marks?
Yeah, just beside the hash marks.
Yeah.
Really. And it was a perfect shot right in the top corner.
Like how many people trying to block that shot in front, and he just snipes the corner. It's just phenomenal. It really is. Yeah.
Maybe I did jinx this because I said, oh, is Bedard going to get his 50th in the empty net here at home? And it didn't happen. But
you got an assist on it at least. But it would be nice for him to get it at home, but who knows? We'll see what happens in Winnipeg. He hasn't been terribly successful against them, so maybe it will end up being
and that's
in
the thing. Winnipeg's tough to play against. They clinched first overall, so maybe they rest a guy or two. You never know.
Maybe like the goal. Like you don't want. They have that young goaltender that's playing hot. I don't know. Like,
yeah, right.
That's the coaching decision. Do you want him to rest and not get hurt, or do you put him in and?
Because you don't want them to lose, get rusty kind of thing.
Exactly, right?
But
yeah.
Because they only have 2 games left. Yeah, it's just a 2-pass game. So maybe the goalie gets one night off.
Yeah.
Right? And a couple guys get one night off. A couple other guys get the other night off maybe.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So we did get to catch up with, who do you want to start with, Ken?
Sure, we'll start with him.
We'll start with Ken Schnieder. We talked to him last night. Ken's always a great interview, so he's got some good comments about that game and kind of just the week so far and looking forward a little bit too. So we'll throw it to him for that.
Well, I think there's a couple of things. Our goaltender was really good again tonight. He was good last night, and I think he's instilled a little bit of confidence in our guys. We played really gritty tonight. We played with, 2 defensemen that haven't been with us all season, without Riker Evans and without Stolzel. So Those are two big people in our lineup. So we had 4 defensemen play the last 12 minutes of the game, and I think it's that kind of thing that really was the difference tonight. Howe blocking shots late in the game, Logan Nyhoff doing the same, doing whatever they could to help us win a game. Well, we're really excited about what Kelton's brought to our team. And he played earlier in the season with us, came on a road trip to Alberta. And he's had a couple of shutouts. Guys played really well in front of him in those games. And I think, for him, he's a local kid, so this means a lot to him to be from White City and to come in here and be a Regina Pat. I think he really cherishes it. And I give Coach Keck a lot of kudos for what he's done with his Pat C team. I think those guys are well organized. They come here prepared to play already. I think of Barnett too, another young guy that's played there all winter. And those guys have already been schooled and trained very well.
You talked about a gritty game, and it maybe got away from you. PA taking some extra penalties tonight. It didn't seem as bad. What did you like the lack or the discipline tonight?
Absolutely, and it's key. We've lost games because of it, where we've taken penalties late in the game. We couldn't afford a tie tonight. We needed to win the game in regulation, and it was on my mind thinking, if they ever tie this thing up late, we may have to pull our goalie to try and win it. So. To stay out of the penalty box and stay disciplined, we really talked about it a lot at the end of the second period, was that they're going to try and goad us into some things, and we really need to be able to back away and walk away from it.
Bit of an odd game with the shot total today. What do you attribute to that? Is it more of a playoff style hockey?
Yeah, we've been preaching to our guys that we need to be a little tighter. We need to play tighter in our own end. We need to play better through the neutral zone. And so, we gave up some offense, no question. And but at the end of the day, we were much better in our own end as far as we were concerned. We did some good things with the puck. We managed the puck much better, but and our goaltender was good again.
So the window's still open. What's the message going to the team? Some tough games coming up here.
Yeah, I think we need a little time to kind of digest tonight. We know we're going to go into the Lions' Den and play Winnipeg 2 games in a row. It's going to be hard, especially after the tough game we had here at home against them. I didn't think we were really very good. We were really shy in that game, and I think if we could bring this kind of compete level, it's going to need to be a game like tonight, where we're going to have to play really well defensively. We're going to need good goaltending, and we need to stay out of the penalty box. So hopefully we can get a guy or 2 back before next Thursday night, and that would be helpful to our young back end, in particular with the other 2 guys that were admirable. But we're going to have to play a real structured game, and our goal is let's try and get a point or 2 out of that series with Winnipeg, and then come home and beat Moose Jaw on Sunday.
So he's talking about getting a point out of Winnipeg and then beating Moose Jaw. What do you think about this week coming up?
Well, if Swift Current wins their game, that's they need 5. They need 5 points to pass Winnipeg or Swift Current, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be tough. 5 points in the 6 games. But if Swift Current loses, PA is going to be right there at 59 as well.
Because they'll have 59.
So you need, it's going to be so tough, right? Because Moose Jaw's not going to be an easy game either.
No,
right? Like we've struggled. We've beat them a couple times, but we've struggled with them as well. So yeah, getting, like you said, 1 point, getting a point out of those 2 games, I think you need more than that to.
I think so.
Yeah, but his one comment, like they were thinking of maybe pulling the goalie if it was a tie game to win in regulation.
Yeah,
like that's crazy, because I still think, I don't know, they haven't obviously broken down, but if you win in overtime, that's still okay. Like you're still taking a point, you're getting a point more than Prince Albert.
Yeah,
you're not giving anybody in front of you a point, right? PA's still going to be behind you.
No, because they would have 58 now.
No. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, that's crazy.
They would have been up to yeah.
But Yeah. So and he alluded to it. They may be getting a guy in the back end back. So
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't ask any specific questions. So there's no updates or anything like that because this all seemed to happen after any releases from the WHL.
yeah. So yeah, maybe we'll see something on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there'll be an update. I guess we won't find out. Maybe not till game day, but see what happens.
Good. So we also had a chance to talk to Connor Bedard and Tanner Howe. They did a dual interview here, and so get some player perspectives on this game against Prince Albert, and yeah, the next game's coming up here.
And then there's a guest question at the end. See if you can figure out who it is.
Another tough game against PA. You guys took the win tonight. What was the difference between tonight and the last game in PA there?
Yeah, obviously got the win today. I thought we just kind of bought into a game and played our style and came out strong. And obviously, Parner stood on his head for us again. And yeah, just get the win. It felt awesome.
Ken talked to you guys at the intermission about not getting into their game, and maybe you guys lost a little bit of control last game. But how tough is it to not take those extra penalties against this team?
Yeah, I mean, last game we kind of took a lot of penalties and they scored on them, so it didn't help us at all. I mean, we knew we couldn't buy into their stuff, and we knew we had to play our game, just play with speed and out muscle and just score more goals than them.
Couple goals tonight. Is 50 maybe on your mind now?
I mean, obviously, it would be nice, good round number, but I mean, can't think of it too much. Obviously, 3 big games for us to, get in the playoffs, but if it happens, it would definitely be great.
Last time you were maybe a little happy that you didn't have to block a shot last game. Tonight you took a couple. What does that say, to the rest of the team that you're blocking shots as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I want to be trusted in those situations, and obviously that's something you got to do is eat a pocket at the end of the game and kind of war one and then miss another one. So luckily that one didn't go in, but it definitely feels better to block it than to miss it.
Talk about Pine. He just got knocked out of the playoffs in AAA there, and coming in, thrown into the fire here with you guys again. Like, how does that speak on his kind of mindset and his ability as well?
Yeah, I mean, he's been unreal. Obviously, 5-6 games, 2 shutouts, 4 wins for us, and I mean, yesterday first period, I think he really held us in there and won us that game, and then tonight as well, we got outshot by a bit, but he's just so solid in there, and we had a hell of a good game.
Tough not to be scoreboard watching right now. What's the feeling in the room going forward these next few games?
I think just kind of control. We can control. Obviously, we want things to go our way in other games, but we can't really focus on that too much. We got to just focus on Thursday, Friday against Winnipeg, and then obviously a big one at home against Moose Jaw to kind of end the year.
Connor, this one's for you. What did you see on your power play goal? Can you just explain what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a bit of a brick from Salams there on the top, but lucky enough I was able to handle it and then get a shot off and get him an apple. I think was good.
Right on. Kind of some turkeys in the interview, but they're having fun, and that's awesome to see. Anything about those comments stand out to you?
Not much, right? Like, they really like Pine, right? It seems like he's, like I said, the coach says, he's giving them some confidence. So, that's what they need. And, this team's riding 3 16-year-olds. Like, that's crazy, that's a tough go in this league, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. They are right now. You're right.
Yeah. So
if we can get some of that depth back on the blue end or the blue line, and who knows how these last few games go, right? Like Connor said, all they can do is control what they can, and they need some points though.
I mean, you win out, you're in, but that's a very, very tall task.
I'll put it out there. I've been kind of the negative Nelly over the last few weeks. I'm going to say they're going to win a game in Winnipeg.
All right.
Okay. They're going to win that, and then they're going to beat Moose Jaw. So they're going to get 4 points. They'll end up with 61. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
If Swift wins, that'll put them 61. I'm worried about Calgary. I could see them getting some.
Yeah,
points.
see, I was kind of thinking Calgary is the team to beat, or not the team to beat, but they have the best chance because they had the 3 games, but they do have 3 tough games. So if Current only has 1, but they probably have the easiest game against Prince Albert, right? But they only have 1. So
Calgary's down
still
to
gotta
2
play.
now because they're at 66 games.
Yeah,
So they
got
could
2
get a
'cause they
max
lost.
of 64 points.
No, 62. They'd only be at 62.
62. Oh, my math is terrible tonight. It's been a long day.
Yeah, so they'd be 62 max. So Current 61 max.
Yeah.
Regina 63 max, and Prince Albert 61.
Right.
So like I said, Pats have obviously the most opportunity, but the toughest path.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Current's got the easiest path, but the least opportunity.
Uh-huh.
So it's crazy, right? So
I may
one
have
other thing I
to-
got to say about those interviews, Salami, I think, he's really brought something to this team off the ice as well.
Yeah.
Like he's been in the interviews a couple times, and him and Bedard have really hit it off, it seems. And
Absolutely.
we were waiting on Howe because he was getting iced up, like he had a huge ice pack on his leg.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe we're getting Salami instead of Howe, and no, he was just there to watch. So I said, hey, throw in a question or two. And they seem to be having some fun. So at least they're having fun, right?
Totally.
That's
Totally.
all you want, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to see the team just down on each other.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it is. It seems like from what we can see, a decent enough locker room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about a few other things, Pats related. So interesting news with Logan Nyhoff coming off that hat trick, signed with the San Diego Gulls, an AHL contract. So that's for next year. So he went down to the Gulls are the AHL affiliate of the Ducks, and he went down to their camp earlier this year and must have made a bit of impression. And was rewarded with this contract for a little bit of opportunity next year.
Yeah, that's good for him. I was kind of thinking about it. He's not the most offensive output kind of guy. Doesn't have the most offensive talent, but the face-offs are a thing. And just his work ethic and stuff like that, right? It kind of reminds me of Rhett Gordon. Like, man, he seemed to be like a star, like in the making when he played here.
Okay.
But then you look at his brother Boyd. Like, he didn't put up the points in the WHL, but man, did he have a long career in the NHL, right?
Yeah.
That kind of that third line face-off specialist, kind of grinding kind of guy, and it's almost like Nyhoff could have some sort of role like that. Like you could see him doing that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of, I don't know why I thought of those two guys, but I just remember I thought for sure Rhett Gordon was going to be, he's going to be kind of going to the NHL, and it didn't work out for him. And Boyd had a great NHL career, right?
Yeah.
Longevity wise. So.
Yeah. That's good insight. And then other news. Yeah. Bedard currently sitting at 49 goals, looking to get into that 50 goal club. Most recently occupied with Sam Steele and Jordan Eberle. So some pretty elite names to be hopefully joining there. Eberle did it in quite a few less games, but nonetheless, on a bit of a maybe arguably better teams with those two other guys, but
not
terribly.
much. Not with Eberle, not much better really. So he was older, obviously, but
yeah, older. So hopefully, I don't care where he gets it. To be honest, doesn't matter if it's on the road or if it's at home. If it means some wins in Winnipeg, I will be happy to not have seen it.
Yeah,
we'll see 52 or 53, whatever it is, back at home against Moose Jaw. I'm fine with that.
But yeah, he broke both Pat's records for goals and points as his first 16-year-old. So
yeah, Jeff Friesen for goals and Wickenheiser for points. So pretty amazing. And it's a ton of fun watching still. I'm glad these last games are going to mean something. And hopefully Sunday does too. Should be pretty fun in that barn against Moose Jaw. Who else would you want to have in there with the
last
big
game of the year?
Yeah, in there, big game of the year. Hopefully it is. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, one other thing I got, Pine was named second team All-Star in the under-18 AAA league, so he had a solid year, and obviously they lost out in the playoffs in the semi-final to Notre Dame, but I think he's going to be in the equation next year, obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, let's wrap it up for this week. Regardless what happens over these last few games, we got something a little special on the back burner here for you guys coming up. Hopefully,
yeah. Are we going to do a show next week, or are we just going to leave it till the?
I guess we'll see how the week plays out.
Yeah, that's true, right?
If it goes out in a puff of smoke, then maybe not so much. But if it's something to talk about, then yeah, we'll be here to talk about it.
But yeah, we've got a good off-season episode coming up for sure. Maybe a couple others as well.
Yeah. But for now, let's hope for some points this week, and we'll see you guys at the rink.
All right, good night, folks.
Top of the right circle, Bedard walks in, shoots, score! Number 49 for Connor Bedard, and he waves over to the Prince Albert bench. Bedard for the empty net for the all-time points record. He's got it! That is the new Pat's 16-year-old points record with his 89th point of the season.